Bokato Mishpaka, Haya Akaja Yisrael. Animen Ethmete Shal Yehuda. Good morning, family. I am Akazi Yisrael, and I am from the tribe of Yehuda. Tehillah Yahweh. Tehillah Yahweh Ben Yahweh. All right. So today's class is a class that I got done like 2 years ago. And something is just wanting me to present this class to you. So we're going to do exactly that. I came across this extraordinary video of our Abba, Yud He Wafe Bet Nun Sofi Yud He Wafe, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, and it made me think of these notes. And I'm going to get to that right now. So these notes take place in the book of Ibri, chapter 5, verse 1. For those who don't know what that is, it's the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, verse 1, right? For every high priest taken from among men is ordained for men in the things pertaining to God Yahweh, that he may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sins. All right? High in this reference is the high priest, which is by an extension a chief priest. So these are people with rulership. These are people with power. Not just about being a priest, it's just about being, one, well-versed with knowledge, and two, having great power and authority over men, right? And it's an archy of a commencement as well as concrete sheets of magistrations and principalities of power. Again, and now ordained means to place down permanently or even in a figurative manner. You don't have to be the same man who's put down permanently, but it can be a branch of government or, an agency that's dictated and controlled secretly by the government, but they are firmly planted. And no matter how many times a civilian can vote against it, their seat is permanently placed or established, right? So ordained means, again, to place down permanently or figuratively to designate, right? As we just said, in the constitute, right? And constitute means characterized by or even having a step-by-step procedure or method, okay? A method is a means of action of procedures, right, that follow a systematic arrangement in order to get accomplished. So these are people who help carry the plan along in many different ways of baby steps, medium steps, and Nephilim steps, right? To get what they're trying to get done in a more subtle way, right? So the ordained also have convoys and appointments and their conduct. So you have to look at what these people or branches or agencies do and how are they marching forward, either in their eyes, good work, but in reality, it's evil, right? We're going to get to that. Now, the principalities is any or is of a certain small state whose ruler is called a prince, one which is or was within or subordinate to a kingdom or empire, right? The principle, the base root of principality, Princicipal, is a person having chief authority, okay? Now, we just understood and we just read that the high priests are the ones that, again, have an archy or by extension, a chief priest. So the principle is a person having chief authority or responsibility, a person employing another as his agent, a person actually committing or directly aiding in a crime. Look at that. So they have a fall guy. If things go south and if things get exposed, they can have a finger to point and they'll take the blame and they'll fall and then they'll get put in a court of law for the public eye for a certain time, and then before you know it, their cases off the screen, like Dr. Fauci, right? No, they showed what they wanted to show, and then a main event happened in the world, and it's washed away from the public's attention. So, synonyms for principals are cardinals, chiefs, heraldry, scribes, transcribes, the clergy, I'm going to break these down. Now, a herald is anyone who announces an eminent or the official messenger of a royal person or his representation, or declaring the beginning of end of war, announcing the will of the king and prince. The United States has something like that. It's called oh man, it's escaping my mind. But like when you have, when they be having all those press conferences at the White House, right? You have all of those House representatives coming out talking about, whoa, the president said this, the president said that, and all of those stuff. Those are heralds. Their main objective is to come out and speak objectively about the idea of what is going to happen, and sometimes subjectively of a person or a personal pronoun following their message of what they are trying to intend to, or intend to go in this certain pathway, right? Now, a cardinal is one of the princes of the Catholic Church who are members of the Papal Council or the Sacred College and the elector of the Pope. So we understand again directly that the principals are these cardinals as well. And as this is stated, they are princes of the Catholic Church. So we know that we are talking about the HRE, the Holy Roman Empire, that have been broken down into different groups now and are, called many things. But the Papal Council kind of, consolidates all of that. It kind of just groups them together, okay? Because the whole point is we are trying to ask you, the viewer, is this information, if it's new to you, can it be made easy for you to understand about what we're trying to inform you with, as well as can you use analogies to group all this information together and connect them to things that you may know, and does it all go towards the bigger picture, right? Because we want to make sure that you are absorbing this information, right? So it's also the Papal Council or the Sacred College of Electors of the Pope. Now, elector is one of the German princes that's entitled to electing the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Look at that. So again, if I was you, I would look up a Holy Roman Empire a little bit, or we can touch on that probably in a later class after this, or I'll probably just connect something to it. Now, the agent is a means of instruments by a person or thing used to secure some effect. Again, their job is to push forward the certain effects that the inner circle wants them to get done. And if things go south, then they'll be the fall guy, or they'll have a fall guy for the fall guy, right? It's like chess. You got to have your pawns, you got your bishops, you got your the king and the queen and whatever that other little piece is, right? So that is what that is. And then some synonyms for the agent is minister, device, instrument, secure, sheltered, like a silo. We're going to get to that. Respiratory, and tomb, right? Now, minister is a person in charge of some high office or state, especially one responsible for administrative of an autonomous public service department, or a person who has authority to conduct worship, administer sacraments, etc. in a Christian church, especially in American, any Protestant or clergyman, which is a Britishman, or a nonconformist clergyman, which is an agent and a minister of the divine wrath. Look at that. The clergyman is any ordained Christian minister. And a nonconformist person is a member of a Protestant denomination dissenting from the Church of England. And the first nonconformists were the clergy, which nearly 2,000 in number, who resigned their living rather than accept the Act of Uniformity in 1662, right? Came over here to America to set up their own form of religion, which would still be attached to the Catholic body, but it was their own thing, right? So the nonconformist was granted official toleration in 1689, right? And gained full religious civil rights in the 19th century, still in the 1800s, which is the principles of nonconformists, which is the Baptists, Congregationalists, Methodists, Presbyterians, Quakers, and the Unitarians, etc. Now, clergy is also the group or the body of ordained persons in a religion, as distinguished from laity. Now, the synonyms for laity is parish. And parish, right, is an ecclesiastical district having its own church and members of the clergy. So now this is saying that during 92, right, 1689, they had set up an ecclesiastical assembly where these men had high-ranking authority in order to conduct religion services, as well as other secret services that they wanted to granted to them by the government. So what does that mean officially? That means that they have become an agency of the government. That's why churches don't get taxed by the government. They are a form of the government. The government don't tax themselves, right? And their whole job is to push society in the direction that the government wants their people to go. And that includes with the whitewashing of the Torah, making, the black images white, and changing the names of our ancestors, into their names, right? It all goes back. So the toleration, right, is a permission by law. See, again, they got permission. That means an agreement was struck up, or government of the exercising of religious and other than an established religion, which gave the ecclesiastical court members non-interference in matters of private faith and worship, right? Now, Protestant is a duplicate or a repeat by implication to protest and testify by reiteration. Now, they encompass and restore as a state of reduplication. They admonish, charge, and earnestly lift up and call to record and take to record, as well as rob and give warning and bearing witness. Meaning they took our Torah and they started to replicate it. They started to, change it and replicate it to make the future generation further and further involved, as well as brainwashed to think that this is talking about another group of people, and the true group of people are just cursed by God because they black or whatever they be thinking, right? And that's just what a lot of people thought back in the day, that, oh, God cursed black people and he made them black. A lot of, I had a lot of old comrades who family members were like in the Klan, and that's what they would always say. Yeah, man, we was always told when we was kids that, black people was cursed. That's why God made y'all black. But I'm like, nah, bro, that's not true at all. Because if anything, we blessed because in our skin, we have melanin, which is like a dark matter, where we can absorb the sun rays and not die from skin cancer or get sunburn. We just get darker. We absorb the heat. I'm like, if anything, y'all can't go nowhere. So y'all get burned in snow from the sun reflecting off the snow, and you get burned in the summertime. He started laughing, right? But, I know people be hearing all kind of wild stuff. But again, it's not about race. It's just about the truth, all right? Because not every European man is bad. Not every Hebrew is good, right? Not every Asian person is good. Not every Latino is bad. It's bad in all races, and we need to separate ourselves from the bad ones and connect ourselves on to the ones with the good spirit. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. Protestant is of any Western Christian that's not adherent of the Catholic, Anglican, or Eastern Church, who is a person who protests, right? We'll look at that. Protest is an expression or declaration of objection, disapproval, or dissent, often in opposition to something that a person who is powerless in preventing or avoiding something. Now, I say all that to say this. When you break down the word protest, pro means a prefix occurring in loan words from Latin with the meaning forward, forming especially actions that is denoting towards a forward movement or pushing forth to a location of proceeding and processing, as well as making advancement, promoting a purpose, which is bringing into existence of procreation and producing something that was before considered bad. And it is taking the place of the good, meaning they are doing a substitution. Literally, it means pro. Look it up, pro. It is a bringing into existence, procreate, producing before, outside of profane, is now in the place of. That, my family, goes with Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. And we'll read a little bit as well, which it says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." Verse 21, "Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight." 22, "Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine and men of strength to mingle strong drink." Verse 23, "Which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him." Verse 24, "Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their roots shall be as rottenness, and their blossoms shall go up as dust, because they have casted away the law of the Lord Yahweh of hosts and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel." Look at that. That goes with pro. And that's what they do. Look at society. Things that used to be cast down 20 years ago is now the main front of society. And if you say anything about it and they get mad enough, they can get you in a lot of trouble for defamation of character, not accepting a new identity and all kind of stuff, right? When, again, before 20, 30, 40 years ago, that stuff was kept strictly in the bedroom. But now kids and everyone else is forced to see things and have to a certain extent, accept this wrong that was profane. But now it's taking the place of righteousness, and righteousness is not profane. You are now called a whistleblower. If you want to tell the truth about something you've seen, if you hold some type of power or even control in an agency, they'll take you to jail for telling the truth. But the wrong ones, they don't take them to jail, because righteousness has been put in the place of profane, and profane has been put in the place of righteousness. As we just read, they substituted. Wow. And then they go about testing this. Well, how do they test it? Acacia, I'm going to tell you, family. They test it by putting it in movies and cartoons before they release it to the public. And then they sit back to see how the public accepts it. If anyone starts to stand up and hoop and holler. But if no one stand up and hoot and holler, then they start to release and trickle it. And before you know it, it's the new what they say, the new normal. Right?
'cause he told me so. He woke me up early when I was suffering. Said, son, you won't suffer no more. So glad Yahweh loved me. He took my blind eyes and gave them sight. Well, and when I was running around doing everything wrong, he took all my wrong and made it right. Yeah, lady love. You see, now I'm living in a peaceful and a tranquil mind. You see, he did things for me that nobody else ever could do. You see, God got the power. He did it for me. He can do it for you. Well, Yahweh is alright. The mighty God is alright. God Yahweh is alright. He's alright with me. Well, let me tell